From above, Georgia looks unstoppable. Jets lifting off every 90 seconds, highways glowing like arteries of growth, cranes carving new skylines into the horizon. But prosperity has a boundary. Drive far enough from the glass towers and the signal fades. The streetlights thin out. The storefronts stop changing hands. The hospital becomes a county away. Here, decline doesn't announce itself. It settles in quietly. Median incomes hover below survival comfort. Poverty rates climb past 30%. In pockets, no billboard advertises. Young adults leave after graduation and rarely circle back. Houses don't always collapse. They just sit, aging, unsold. These towns are still on the map. They're just no longer in the momentum. And in Georgia, distance isn't measured in miles, it's measured in who gets left behind. Number 12. Cuthbert. Near Georgia's western edge, where state highways thin into two-lane stretches and billboards disappear, Cuthbert sits with fewer than 3,000 residents and a poverty rate hovering around 35%. Median household income struggles to reach $28,000, less than half the national average. The courthouse square is architecturally intact. Red brick, decorative cornices, wide sidewalks, but preservation does not equal prosperity. Multiple storefronts remain vacant, and commercial turnover is low. Population decline has quietly reduced the tax base, limiting infrastructure upgrades and municipal services. Healthcare access requires long drives. Advanced care often means traveling 30 to 50 miles. Educational attainment trails state averages, with a relatively small percentage of adults holding bachelor's degrees. Agriculture and local government provide employment stability, yet neither drives significant wage growth. Broadband coverage exists but does not automatically create remote job pipelines. Property values remain modest, reflecting limited demand rather than hidden opportunity. Young adults frequently relocate to Albany or Columbus for work, accelerating demographic aging. Cuthbert does not implode. It contracts gradually. The lights stay on, the clock tower still runs, but economic gravity keeps pulling outward, towards cities that expand, while this one recalibrates smaller each year. Number 11. Lumpkin. Drive south into Stewart County and the landscape opens into farmland before narrowing again into Lumpkin, population under 1,000. Median household income sits near $25,000, and poverty approaches 30%, numbers that quietly shape everyday decisions. The employment base is concentrated. Agriculture, public institutions, and nearby correctional facilities dominate payrolls. Economic diversity is minimal, which limits resilience when one sector slows. The downtown grid is compact and functional, but thin on commercial density. There are few national retailers, limited entertainment venues, and almost no major private investment within town limits. Healthcare often requires extended travel, and specialized services mean crossing county lines. Educational attainment remains below state averages, narrowing access to higher wage professions. Housing prices frequently fall under $120,000, a figure that signals affordability, but also limited market demand. Infrastructure upgrades move cautiously, tied to a small municipal budget supported by a shrinking tax base. Younger residents often leave after graduation, seeking broader labor markets in larger regional hubs. Lumpkin does not headline statewide crisis reports. It operates in steady constraint, stable enough to endure, constrained enough to struggle, and distant enough that Georgia's economic surge feels geographically measurable rather than locally visible. Number 10. Woodbury. Woodbury carries the aesthetic of preserved history, but preservation does not guarantee momentum. With a population just under 900, it has declined steadily from earlier decades, when regional trade routes gave the town more relevance. Median household income sits around the low $40,000 range, below Georgia's statewide median, and job growth has remained largely flat for years. Housing prices are often 40 to 60% below the national average, which sounds appealing until you notice that limited demand keeps appreciation sluggish. Downtown's stone and brick buildings create postcard charm, yet commercial turnover is slow and retail density thin. There are no major industries within town limits, and most higher-paying jobs require commuting 30 miles or more. Educational attainment trails metro counties, and younger residents often relocate after graduation, leaving behind an aging population that shifts local spending patterns toward maintenance rather than expansion. Healthcare access exists at a basic level, but specialized treatment requires travel. Broadband coverage has improved, yet remote professional roles rarely cluster here. Woodbury does not collapse in dramatic fashion. It stands intact, structurally sound, but economically paused. Connected by roads, disconnected from acceleration, watching growth concentrate elsewhere in Georgia. Number 9. Collins. In Tattnall County, Collins rests far from interstate corridors, with a population near 550 and poverty rates exceeding 25%. Median household income hovers around $30,000, placing pressure on households when fuel, food, or insurance costs rise. The physical layout reflects rural isolation. Long two-lane roads, limited commercial signage, and minimal corporate presence. There are no large-scale employers anchoring the tax base, and municipal budgets remain small as a result. Most residents commute for stable employment, often driving 20 to 40 miles. Healthcare access is limited locally. Advanced services require travel into larger counties. Educational attainment rates remain below state averages, narrowing entry into higher-paying sectors. Housing is affordable, frequently under $120,000, but appreciation is slow due to constrained population growth. Broadband access has improved, though high-speed adoption remains inconsistent, limiting digital entrepreneurship. Collins does not exhibit chaotic decline. It demonstrates structural fragility. When even a few families relocate, the economic ripple is measurable. Fewer consumers mean fewer services. Fewer services mean fewer reasons to stay. In a state investing heavily in logistics hubs and tech corridors, Collins remains geographically and economically peripheral. Number 8. Hiltonia. Hiltonia, population slightly above 300, sits within Screven County surrounded by expansive farmland and minimal commercial clustering. Poverty rates run significantly above state averages, and median household income often falls below $30,000. Employment is heavily tied to seasonal agriculture and small local services, creating income volatility when harvest cycles fluctuate or commodity prices shift. Economic diversification remains limited, leaving little buffer during downturns. The town lacks major retail infrastructure, entertainment venues, or professional offices. Most residents travel outside municipal limits for groceries, banking, and healthcare. Advanced medical services require extended drives, a challenge for households without reliable transportation. Educational attainment rates lag behind Georgia averages, restricting access to skilled, higher-wage employment. Housing prices remain low, but demand is equally limited, keeping property values flat. Population decline compounds fiscal pressure. With a shrinking tax base, infrastructure improvements move slowly. Hiltonia's challenge is not sudden crisis, but long-term constraint. Geographic separation, narrow employment pathways, and limited investment form a quiet ceiling over opportunity. The town endures, yet forward momentum depends on economic forces that rarely prioritize places this small. Number 7. Fort Valley, Georgia. In the middle of Peach County, surrounded by orchards that once symbolized prosperity, Fort Valley feels like a town caught between agricultural legacy and modern economic reality. Population, roughly 8,500. Unemployment has hovered near or above 8 to 9% in recent years, consistently higher than Georgia's statewide average. Median household income sits well below $40,000, and poverty rates approach 30% in certain census tracts. The presence of Fort Valley State University brings energy, but student activity does not automatically translate into long-term economic revival. Main Street tells a mixed story. Some storefronts operate with determination, others rotate tenants frequently, or sit empty. Payday lenders and pawn shops are more visible than upscale retail, a subtle indicator of financial stress within the community. Agriculture remains central to the region's identity, yet farming jobs are seasonal and increasingly mechanized, reducing labor demand. Major logistics corridors and large-scale private investment have largely bypassed this area. Healthcare services exist locally, but advanced specialty care often requires travel to Macon. Fort Valley isn't devoid of culture or resilience. It simply operates within tight margins. Geographic positioning away from major interstate growth hubs limits diversification. Surrounded by fertile land, the town produces fruit for the state, yet struggles to harvest the broader economic expansion reshaping much of Georgia. Number 6. Monroe. Monroe carries architectural charm. Brick facades, preserved downtown blocks, a courthouse square that looks steady and intact. But history here casts a long shadow. Population stands near 15,000, and while proximity to the Atlanta metro suggests opportunity, economic disparities remain visible. Median household income sits below the state median, and poverty pockets persist, particularly outside revitalized corridors. Monroe's past as a textile center collapsed with deindustrialization, leaving behind underutilized industrial structures and reduced manufacturing employment. Today, retail and small service businesses anchor the economy, yet high-wage sectors remain limited within city limits. Property values fluctuate depending on proximity to metro spillover, creating uneven growth patterns. Infrastructure investment has improved in some districts, but outer neighborhoods show signs of aging housing stock and deferred maintenance. The unresolved memory of the 1946 Moores Ford lynching still lingers in historical discussions, shaping the town's identity in ways that extend beyond economics. Healthcare access is adequate locally, yet specialized care often involves travel. Monroe is not geographically remote in a literal sense. It is economically uneven, close enough to Atlanta to feel the pressure of growth, yet far enough to remain outside the primary wave of high-paying industry. The result is a town balancing preservation and progression without fully achieving either. Number 5. Quitman. Near the Florida border in Brooks County, Quitman sits far from Georgia's major economic engines. Population, around 4,000. Poverty rates exceed 35%, significantly above both state and national averages. Median household income struggles to reach the mid-$30,000 range. The downtown district features historic structures, but vacancy rates are noticeable, and commercial turnover remains slow. Geographic isolation shapes nearly every economic metric. Interstate access is limited, and major corporate investment rarely extends this far south. Agriculture plays a role in the regional economy, yet diversification remains thin. Employment opportunities are concentrated in public services, small retail, and farming-related industries. Younger residents frequently relocate for broader job markets, contributing to demographic aging. Infrastructure funding has not matched the scale seen in northern Georgia's expanding suburbs. Healthcare services are available locally at a basic level, but advanced treatment often requires travel to Valdosta or Tallahassee. Housing prices remain modest, yet appreciation is limited due to stagnant population growth. Quitman's nickname celebrates natural beauty, but landscaping cannot mask economic constraint. The town functions, schools operate, businesses open daily, but opportunity circulates in a narrower loop than in Georgia's booming metro corridors. Number 4. Montezuma. Montezuma, located in Macon County, has a population of roughly 3,000 and a poverty rate exceeding 30%. Median household income typically falls below $30,000, reflecting long-standing economic challenges. The town has faced repeated flooding over the years due to its proximity to the Flint River, causing infrastructure strain and property damage that discourages large-scale investment. Flood mitigation projects have improved resilience, yet the perception of risk remains. Agriculture dominates the surrounding region, but mechanization limits employment expansion. There are no major corporate headquarters, industrial parks, or logistics hubs inside city limits. Commercial corridors are sparse, and retail diversity is minimal. Healthcare access is limited locally, and residents often travel to larger cities for specialized services. Educational attainment rates trail state averages, narrowing professional mobility. Housing remains inexpensive, but population decline and limited demand suppress property value growth. Montezuma is not marked by dramatic crime waves or rapid collapse. Instead, it faces cumulative constraints: environmental risk, narrow economic diversification, and geographic distance from high-growth corridors. In a state investing heavily in ports, data centers, and film production, Montezuma remains largely outside those investment arcs, maintaining stability but rarely capturing acceleration. Number 3. Hilltop. Hilltop is so small, it almost disappears between county lines. Population, roughly 250. In a place this size, numbers distort quickly. A few incidents can spike crime rates dramatically, and over the past several years, Hilltop has recorded disproportionately high per capita crime compared to nearby rural communities. Median household income sits far below Georgia's average, and poverty rates fluctuate sharply because economic stability here is fragile by design. There are no commercial strips, no medical clinics, no major employers within town limits. Residents drive outward for groceries, prescriptions, even basic banking. Housing stock is aging, property values remain stagnant, and new construction is rare. When one family moves out, the vacancy is visible. When two leave, the street feels thinner. Law enforcement relies heavily on county patrol coverage stretched across rural miles, meaning response times are not measured in seconds. Isolation compounds every metric. Educational and healthcare access require transportation many households struggle to maintain. Hilltop does not unravel loudly, it compresses inward. Economic setbacks echo longer. Social tensions magnify faster. In larger cities, problems disperse. Here, they concentrate. And in a town this small, concentration becomes its own form of pressure. Persistent, measurable, and difficult to escape. Number 2. Clarkston. Clarkston covers less than 1.5 square miles, yet holds more than 14,000 residents, making it one of the densest municipalities in Georgia. Often called one of the most diverse small cities in America, it has welcomed refugees from more than 50 countries over decades. Diversity here is visible on every block. So is economic strain. Poverty rates exceed 30%, and median household income trails significantly behind neighboring DeKalb County suburbs. Geographically, Clarkston sits minutes from downtown Atlanta. Economically, mobility is uneven. Public schools manage high multilingual enrollment, stretching resources thin. Affordable housing is limited, leading to crowded apartment complexes where multiple families share small units. Property crime rates remain elevated compared to surrounding communities, influencing insurance costs and property values. Unlike rural isolation, Clarkston's challenge is containment. It is surrounded by economic growth, corporate headquarters, and expanding tech corridors. Yet, many residents remain disconnected from those sectors. Transit lines connect outward, but upward mobility requires education pathways and job pipelines that remain inconsistent. Clarkston isn't empty, it's overloaded. High density, constrained housing, limited income growth, all packed into 1 square mile. The proximity to prosperity is visible from every direction. Access to it is not. Number 1. Forest Park. Forest Park sits just south of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, one of the busiest transportation hubs in the world. Planes take off overhead carrying billions in commerce. On the ground, the city of roughly 20,000 residents faces different statistics. Crime rates hover near 50 incidents per 1,000 residents annually, placing it among the higher statewide tiers. Poverty approaches 25%, and median household income remains well below Georgia's average. Apartment complexes built decades ago show visible wear. Property crime contributes to rising insurance premiums for businesses. Commercial turnover is frequent. Logistics warehouses and distribution centers operate nearby, yet wage growth within city limits has not matched Metro Atlanta's corporate expansion. Public schools face performance pressure. Infrastructure budgets compete with public safety costs. Some neighborhoods remain stable, others cycle through rapid tenant changes. Forest Park is not isolated by distance. Interstate access is immediate. The airport is minutes away, yet economic velocity flows overhead rather than through the streets. This is Georgia's paradox in concentrated form: global connectivity within sight, local stagnation within reach. When proximity to growth fails to translate into shared prosperity, isolation becomes less about geography and more about outcome.